Hello, 207. We are now going to do money exchange. In the last lesson, I have told you to read money exchange. Okay, so right now I'm going to go through the examples of money exchange. Now, what do you mean by money exchange? When you go to other country for touring, or you go to other country, people come to Singapore for touring, they will have to change to the country's currency. Okay, you cannot use your Singapore dollar in other country to buy things. All right, therefore we have to change to the other country's currency, and this is what we mean by money exchange. Now I'm at page 335 of your textbook. Page 335 of your textbook. Okay, now can all of you now turn to page 336, which I'm going to go through example 1 of the example on page 336. Okay, now what is the first thing that we need to do? First thing, the question says that Malaysian ringgit 250 is changed to Singapore dollar $1. So copy and complete the following and fill in the blanks. Now we always line it up. In part A, we want to find Singapore dollar 125 is Malaysian ringgit how much? Okay, so in our working, we must put this the other way round. Singapore dollar, then Malaysian ringgit, Singapore dollar, then Malaysian ringgit. What I mean is this. Okay, that means you must line it up properly. Singapore dollar over here, Malaysian ringgit over here. So you take this over this times this. It's always this over this times this. So 2.50 over 1 times 250. You press the calculator, you'll get 312.50. Okay, now this is how part A is done. Now let's take a look at part B. Now part B says that is Malaysian ringgit 5,000 to Singapore dollars how much? Now if this is the case, I have to put Malaysian ringgit here 2.50, and Singapore dollar over here. Malaysian ringgit 5,000 changed to what? Now can you see also that I have lined up Malaysian ringgit here, Singapore dollars here. Then I take this over this times this. The method is always the same. This over this times this. So I will get the answer as Singapore dollars $2,000. Okay, so that will be how example 1 is done. Just make sure that you line it up properly. Okay, now if it is not in the correct order, you just have to flip it so that this is the order that they have, but in part A we flip it so that it's lined up together. Once it's lined up together, you can use this over this times this, which will give you the answer. Okay, please remember to line them up properly. Okay, now then we look at page 336, the table that is given in the middle. Okay, the table says this. Okay, the table says this. Now euro 1 selling and buying. Now what does this selling and buying refer to? This selling and buying refers to the bank. Okay, refers to the bank. All right, now if I have some Singapore money, I want to change to euro. Okay, when I go to the bank is selling the euro to me, so I have to look at this rate here. Okay, if I came back to Singapore with euro and I go to the bank, okay, and I go to the bank to exchange for Singapore dollar, the bank is actually buying the euro from me, so you must look at this particular rate. Okay, I repeat, these two rates is with respect to the bank, not you. Okay, I repeat again, I explain again. If I am changing Singapore dollar for euro, okay, the bank is selling to me. Okay, selling. If I'm changing euro to Singapore dollar, the bank is buying from me. So we have to know how to do this with this exchange rate. Okay, so this is 1 unit of euro, then we have to see whether the bank is selling or the bank is buying. Okay, so this has to be very clear in our head. All right, so let us go to example 2 first. Okay, now this is what I mean here. Now, if the customer, that means you, anyone, is changing Singapore dollar to euro, okay, the bank is selling. If the customer is changing euro to Singapore dollar, the bank is buying. Take note of that. Or one way you can say, Singapore, the customer going to change Singapore dollar to euro, okay, the customer is actually buying euro, so the bank is selling euro. Okay, if the customer is changing euro to Singapore dollars, the customer is selling euro, the bank is buying euro. This table refers to the bank, not the customer. Okay, all right, next. Let us look at example 2. Okay, let us look at example 2. Now, example 2 says the exchange rate of the Chinese yuan relative to the Singapore dollar is 5.2 yuan to Singapore dollar 1. Qiu Kian's tour to China will cost him 5,200 yuan. How much does he need to pay in Singapore dollars? Now you arrange. Yuan 5.2 is Singapore dollar 1. So yuan 5200, can you see I line that up again? Is this over this times this. This over this times this, which will give you $1,000 Singapore. Okay, $1,000 Singapore. Now, I'm going on to example 3. Okay, now feel free to pause the video if you are taking down notes and you want to copy down some things. Okay, now let's look at example 3. Now, example 3 is slightly more difficult because it makes use of the table. Okay, let's look at example 3. Boon Liang needs to change Singapore 560 to Thai baht. How much in Thai baht will he get? Give your answer to the nearest cent. Now, Boon Liang has money and going to the bank to change for Thai baht. That means Boon Liang is buying the Thai baht. So the bank will be selling the Thai baht. Selling. Okay, so we must use the bank is selling. So we have to use, this one always refers to the Singapore dollar. This is the Thai baht. Okay, I repeat. This one is always the Singapore dollar. This one refers to the Thai baht. Okay, so Singapore dollar 4.06 is 100 baht. Singapore dollar 560, this over this times this again, we'll get this answer. Okay, we'll get this answer. It's always the same method. Now let's look at part B. Yutompom comes to Singapore with baht $30,000. If he changes the Thai baht to Singapore dollars, how much in Singapore dollars will he get? Now this person has Thai baht, he's going to the bank to sell the Thai baht. So the bank is actually buying. So the bank is buying. So we must look at the buying rate. Okay, so we have 100 baht is Singapore dollars 4.02. Singapore dollars 4.02. Likewise, we line them up and we use this over this times this. We'll get Singapore dollars 1206. 1,206. Okay, so that's how we will get the answer for this example 3. Now, don't worry if you cannot write the symbol for baht or anything, you can just spell it out. It is perfectly fine. Okay, do not worry about you not knowing how to write the symbol. You can just write it out itself. Okay, so that will complete our example 3. Now, I am going on to example 4. Okay, on page 338, example 4. Okay, let us look at example 4. This is the table that is given in the question. Okay, Mr. Quack planned to go to a holiday to Europe. He changed Singapore dollar 950 to euros. However, he had to cancel the trip at the last minute. He changed the euros back to Singapore dollars on the same day. How much in Singapore dollars did he lose? Give your answer to the nearest cent. Okay, at first, he is going to buy euro, so the bank is selling. Okay, so we look at the selling rate. That means Euro 1 is 1.61 Singapore. Okay, so we line them up, Singapore dollar, Euro here, this over this times this, we'll get this answer. Okay, so this is the first answer. Alright, now he's going to change this because his trip is cancelled. He's going to change this back to Singapore dollars. So he goes to the bank with this, he's selling. So the bank will be buying. Okay, so we look at the buying rate. 1 euro is Singapore dollar 1.58. So we do the same thing. This over this times this, this over this times this, we'll get this amount. But don't forget, this is not the answer. The question asks us how much did he lose. At first, he started off with 950 Singapore dollars. Now he has this, so I must minus off. I will take 5950 minus 932.29. You will get 1771. So the amount that Mr. Quek lose is 1771. So these are the 4 examples that are given in the textbook. Okay, right now I will go into the exercise 11A on page 340. On page 340. Okay, let's look at question number 1. Now the question say 1.99 Singapore is changed to 1 sterling pound. 1 pound sterling. Okay, British pound sterling. Now the symbol is this. Alright, now next, first one. We will write this because they want to change Singapore $12. We must line up Singapore dollar, pound, then I take this over this times this. I will get this answer, 6.03. Okay, part B. Part B, I must arrange it the other way around because I need to line them up. Okay, I need to line them up. Therefore, I put pound, pound, Singapore, Singapore. So this over this times this, I'll get Singapore dollars 23.88. Okay, now as long as you line them up properly, your answer will be correct. Okay, now part C. Now part C has a mistake in the question in the textbook, and I want you to rectify it. Okay, it is supposed to be changed to Singapore dollars. So let's just do this in Singapore dollars. It should not be other things, it should be changing to Singapore dollars. So 1 pound, Singapore dollar 199, 0.72, line up, this over this times this, you get the answer again. Okay, part D, likewise, because I have to line them up, I got to put the Singapore dollar over this side, so this over this times this, I'll get pound 2.61. Okay, always remember to line it up properly, and the method is this over this times this. You will get the answer. That is your answer to question number 1. Okay, number 2. Number 2 is easy because the table is given to you and the conversion rate is given to you. I will just go through the working. Check for the correct conversion currency. Check for the correct conversion currency before you start. So part A, I look for US, line up, Singapore dollar, use the same method, I get 2.46 Singapore dollars. Okay. Part B, I must look for Hong Kong dollars. Line up the Hong Kong dollars, Singapore dollars, use the same method, I get the answer. Okay. Feel free to pause the video if this is too fast for you. Okay. And you can replay it anytime you want. Now, part C. Look for this Australian dollars, okay, and then you convert as per normal. That means as the method shows. Okay. Now, part D is Malaysian ringgit. So you look for the conversion in Malaysian ringgit, line them up, this over this times this, you will get the answer again. So this is your answers to question 2, A to D. Alright, A to D. Okay, I will be going on to question number 3. Okay, for question number 3 is a straightforward question. Okay, you just have to line up properly again. The conversion rate, Thai baht 100, Singapore dollar 4.02. Okay, then Thai baht 5,000, use the same method, you will get Singapore dollar 201. Okay, now for question number 4. Okay, 4A. If you line up properly and use the same method, you will get this answer. Okay, this over this times this. Alright, part B, if you look at it, okay, you will get this answer using the rate given in part B and using the same method. But part B says, how much more in pound sterling will Cedric get if he changes his money at this money changer compared to the bank mentioned in part A? Now in part A, he gets this amount. In part B, he gets this amount. You must take this minus this in order to find the amount more. So the amount more is actually 98.32. Okay, so class, make sure you read the question before you answer it and not miss out anything. Okay, this is your question number 4. Now I'm going on to question number 5. Okay, number 5, first part. Okay, these people are going to Japan, so they change, so they are buying Japan currency, so the bank is selling Japan currency, so I must take 1.58 the selling rate to yen 100 according to the table of question number 5 on page 340. Then I do the same way, I will get this amount of money. Okay, now 5B, this Mr. Yamamoto came to Singapore with this and go and change money. So he's actually selling the yen and the bank is buying. So the bank is buying, so I must look at the buying rate. I have to look at the buying rate. Okay, once I look at the buying rate, I convert, I will get Singapore dollars 3900. Okay, we always use the bank position, buying or selling according to the bank. Okay, so please take note, the selling rate and buying rate there belongs to the bank, not the customer. Okay, now the last question that I have is question number 6. Okay, it's again, okay, giving you the rate in buying and selling form, so you must know what the bank is doing. Okay, now first of all, we are converting 2,000 Singapore dollars to the Korean won. Okay, so this is the way to convert, and don't forget the bank is selling, so we use the selling rate. Okay, then after that, the second part, the bank will be buying. Okay, so we get this answer. Okay, and they say amount lost. What is the amount lost? It will be this minus this. This will be the amount that, okay, that Kok Soon lost. Okay, because he got back less than $2,000, and this is the amount that he lose. Now I repeat again, when he is going to Korea, he is buying Korean money, so the bank is selling Korean money. When he has this amount and he wants to change back, he is selling Korean money, therefore the bank is buying Korean money. The table is with respect to the bank, not the customer. Okay, this you have to get it clear in your head. Alright, now I have finished all the 6 questions that are in exercise 11A, so please make sure you do all this in your full scat paper. Alright, thank you.